We were raised not to speak to our own grandmother, and the day we finally did, she took the baby.
They told us she never existed, but she raised us.
Growing up in Appalachia, I heard all types of spooks and scary things that go bump in the night. The old Coleman, the headless mule, and Miss Myra from a ways away. You know them stories. As tough little country kids, none of 'em scared us. At least they ain't scared us half as much as the pitch black dark on a summer's night. That is, none except Meemaw. Papaw never told us kids why. He just told us not to mention her. Us grandkids thought it was kindly strange because Meemaw was always part of our lives. He must have been married to the woman since God knows when. Meemaw put our church clothes on Sundays. She made us grandkids breakfast every time we stayed over, too, and it was always our favorites. But none of us were allowed to acknowledge her. I remember Cousin Patty one summer morning came running from the creek clear across Papaw's front acre, saying Meemaw needed help. Patty said she was hurt something awful, and he begged, cried for Papaw to help. Now I remember climbing up over a grassy hill to try to take a look. Sure enough, Meemaw was there, turned over on her side in her black dress, wailing while she clutched her stomach. Papaw, Papaw clasped his wrinkly palm across my mouth so fast it felt like a slap. "Shut your mouth now, Mary Sue, and leave it be," he told me, as tears welled up in my eyes, grew and trickled down through the hairs on the back of his hand. Papaw was a gentleman, and surely hadn't treated me like that before. My heart was broken. I used Papaw's office phone to call my mom. My mama come and got me from Papaw that day after I called her, and I tried to tell her what happened. She gave Papaw a look that could kill. I remember how ashamed Papaw looked. It was a few years later that Papaw died. Like most fellas of his time and of that age, his heart just give out one sunshiny morning. His funeral was intense. As grandbabies, all 10 of us at the time, we sat together in a row on a wooden pew. We cried while folks gave speeches about our Papa, speeches about how good a man he was. We wailed like the dead. To some of my cousins, Papa was the only father figure they rightly had. They'd lost the only good man they'd ever know in the whole of their lives, and at such a young age. Their own dad's been lost to shine, the mines, and the type of typical recklessness menfolk tend to get into. Meemaw sat with us, at the end of our row. She was holding baby Christina in her lap. Christina was just 2 years old, and she surely didn't understand what was going on. But she picked up on the sadness somehow, the finality. Baby Christina was just woeful the whole funeral long, crying into Meemaw's bosom. Meemaw never spoke a word. While they put Papaw on the ground, they left us grandbabies in a little wooden playpen sort of thing that they had in the rec room of the church. Our moms and dads just left us there. The only one didn't leave us was Meemaw. Most of the cousins knew what Papaw had taught us. Never to acknowledge Meemaw. Definitely we knew never to speak with her. The little ones like Christina didn't know so well. In a corner of the playpen, Meemaw crouched onto her knees, her long, sheer black dress draped over her. Baby Christina sat looking up at her when I decided I had to do something. "Tina, baby, come here, baby. Cousin Mary misses you." I waved my hands at her, beckoning sweetly to come and play. I reached in my dress pocket and pulled out some kind of knockoff dollar store Barbie I had with me. I showed her the little blonde doll and waved it at her. Baby Christina's eyes lit up with wonder, and she started wobbling her way across the rug to me. Meemaw lifted her head, which was covered in what looked like a wedding veil, only black as coal. Her head angled to me and struck me with a cold sensation of fear like I'd never felt before. "Come play Barbies, Tina." I waggled the doll towards baby Christina once more. "Come on, you can pick her pretty dress, baby." Something inside me told me I had to get baby Christina away from Meemaw in that moment. Baby Christina kept wheedling and wobbling to and fro, getting closer. My older cousins, Samantha and Jamie, joined in. "Come on, baby," we all shouted. We ushered her towards us by gesturing with her hands. It was then that Meemaw stood, only she was much too tall. Her veiled head and neck were so high they bent forward across the ceiling. She got so close, baby Christina, that is. She had had one hand on my knockoff Barbie doll when Meemaw peeled her back. Baby Christina cried something mighty, like nothing I ever heard before or since. Meemaw had her now clutched in her 2 long arms. Behind Meemaw's veil, her cold, white, dead eyes bore holes into me, and I think into all my cousins. Meemaw turned with baby Christina tucked under one arm and slid open a window with ease. Meemaw put one leg through and then the other, and within moments she was gone. When the police came, they asked us all sorts of questions about what happened. As grandbabies tried to tell them about Meemaw taking our baby cousin away, the only thing was there was no Meemaw. At least there was no Meemaw that any one of our parents claimed to know. No one was at Papaw's funeral that day that fit her description.
It wasn't until a few years ago that my mother admitted to me that she was adopted by Papaw. All my aunts and uncles were. They say that Papaw never married, at least not that they knew of. They act like they never knew about our Beemaw for any woman that cared for us and babies back at Papaw's house. All I know for sure is that some dark Mount Walnut took my baby cousin that day, and I wish Papaw had been alive to stop her.
If that story stayed with you, good. Some stories aren't meant to fade. They linger. They follow you into the quiet. If you don't want to miss the next one, the next truth, the next confession, the next line someone shouldn't have crossed, make sure you're subscribed. Because what's coming next is darker, closer, and a little harder to forget. Until then, stay alert. And remember, some stories don't end when the audio stops.